I'm a savage in a lost land. I lost a hand to Africa. Massacres jumping off of the slave ship. I disappear like abracadabra. I feel the water holding me. Never make it to the promised land. That shit is old to me.
What's up, Africans? This is my first vlog, and we're here talking about pop issues. I know some of you might be thinking, Chris, why are you doing that? I feel like there's some things that need to be said. This vlog is entitled R. Kelly Recapturing the Black Masses. Alright, if you tune in to social media lately, you can kind of see that R. Kelly's name is being mentioned amongst the masses of black people who subscribe to pop media and get their information from social media. Okay, first and foremost, this is a disclaimer. I'm not advocating for R. Kelly. I'm a father of 3, and if anything was to befall my children like that, I wouldn't be on camera talking about that. There would be other repercussions. Okay, so I'm not gonna. I know people are gonna be in the comments saying yay or nay because this is a very polarizing subject. So I'm gonna make that disclaimer clear. So hopefully you guys can hear that. We are being distracted as black people. We are constantly being distracted. We are constantly being presented with things that really have no relevancy to us as a people and no relevancy to us as individuals by the media, okay? And what I want to say is I'm going to give you 2 things that I feel are way more important than R. Kelly, okay? First thing is the fact that the government is in its 3rd week of shutdown. I'm going to give you some things that are partial shutdown, but I'm going to give you some things that may be affected by the government's partial shutdown because Trump is holding the government hostage because he wants to get a wall built. Okay, things that may be affected: airport security, park museums, science and research, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and Veteran Affairs, law enforcement agencies and judiciary agencies, some FBI investigations, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, some IRS services, and payments for the Violence Against Women Act, okay? So I'm going to provide you with a link from the New York Times that states what's actually being affected in the government, and you can make the judge, you can be the judge of whether that affects you or not, okay? The second thing, all right, December 30th, 2018, our 7-year-old sister Jasmine Burns was shot in the head as she was driving down Harris County, Texas road by an unknown gunman. Okay, the gunman was originally thought to be white, and this was originally thought to be a hate crime because a white man was seen fleeing from the scene. A sketch was released by the police, and it was of this white man with bald head and blue eyes. There was a firestorm around it from our brothers and sisters because, you know, we are systematically being targeted and the media is desensitizing us to that. Okay, so that was an issue. But as of July 7th, there has been a charge from that, and it was a African-American male by the name of Eric. He's a 20-year-old African-American male who was indicted for that murder after it was originally thought to be a hate crime. I'm going to share with you that link as well. It's going to be in the description. Why not talk about why we took up arms and took up the political banner of a hate crime, and then once we figured it out that it was our own people, you kind of don't hear too much about that. We need to address that, okay? So let's talk about that. These are just 2 things that are more important. There are a lot more things that are more important than R. Kelly right now, but those are 2 things, okay? After I got those things that are more important out, I'm gonna link those in the description. You can check those out. Now let's talk about the R. Kelly thing. I'm not going to be here to pass judgment on what's going on with that case. I didn't watch the documentary, and I'm not going to. What I'm going to say, though, I think it's a tragedy because these sisters, right or wrong, are being dragged through the mud, and this topic of child molestation and statutory rape, 2 things that are extremely serious, are being taken lightly. There are black people on one side who are making memes and saying they support R. Kelly, and there's black people on the other side saying, condemn him, this, that, and the other. But what I want to point out is that this has no relevancy. It's been documented that R. Kelly is a known pedophile for over 15 years, 20 years, 30 years when he was messing around with Aaliyah when she was 15, 16 years old. There are a lot of shady practices done by this man, and his music has never been played in my household because I'm well aware of that. If you Boondocks. I hate to go straight to a cartoon, but the cartoon Boondocks has showed our backwards thinking when it comes to R. Kelly. The black people who are taking up arms in defense, political, social media arms, in defense of R. Kelly, who have children, who father and mother young black females, and who wouldn't sit by and let some singer come and take advantage of their 13, 14-year-old child, but at the same time, this is R. Kelly we're speaking. It's an oxymoron, okay? But what I want to say is that we are being manipulated by the media. We are being told what to like and what to dislike by the media, okay? This has no relevancy. It is nothing but a distraction, and we take the bait every time. We take the bait every time. I feel distracted even telling you about this stuff, but at the same time, I feel like this needs to be said, and what better way to say it than on my first vlog, okay? So, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the trials and tribulations of this. All I know is that these things are very serious. Let's take this time to turn inward, get off of social media, turn inward and ask our own children and lecture and discuss the culture of child abuse and child sexual molestation in our families as black people, because as black people, we may or may not have sexual predators living within our home, living within our families that we don't talk about. You know, just don't go sit on that uncle's lap. You know what I mean? Don't do this. I've heard of that. You know, I've seen my mom tell me, hey, steer clear of this guy or this, that, and the other, but he's family. You know what I mean? So let's use this to talk about that within our own family and give our children the game and let our children know that it's not okay. You know, it doesn't matter what you have. I'm not gonna sit here and discuss what the, you know, child was doing right or wrong, or ask where was this or where was that. Because it, you know, because one, it's very serious, and I'm not gonna be polarized by the media. I'm not going to let the media polarize me into discussing something that's really not relevant right now. Okay, so 2019, let's figure out where the black family, where the black culture is going. Let's talk about why lean is being discussed so much in popular culture and is being marketed to our youth. Why drugs are being marketed to our youth through hip hop that's not controlled and owned by us. Let's talk about things that are relevant to us. Let's talk about gun violence. Let's talk about let's talk about the mass incarceration of the African man and woman, but mainly the African man. Let's talk about why there are African women outnumber African men, because most of us are dead or in jail, or not most, but a lot of us are dead or in jail, okay? There's things that are relevant to us that we are not discussing. However, we are taking up the banner for or against R. Kelly right now on social media, and we are being manipulated. We are being polarized by cable news companies, cable companies that get money, okay? And the fact is, R. Kelly, a lot of these cases are past statutory, you know, so yes, legally, we might not even be able to do anything to R. Kelly because of this, all right? Which still doesn't make it okay, but we have to understand a couple things. One, that since this is such a polarizing argument right now, you have people that are for R. Kelly and for whatever he's doing and defending him and are listening to his music and making it relevant when it wasn't, all right? You have people making him relevant when he was not, okay? So how can we economically castrate R. Kelly when you have groups of blacks who are writing for him and defending him, okay? I'm a father, like I said, I don't really agree with any of that. I know the cold cases that when he was dating Arlita, she was well underage. It's not cool, you know. If you know, I wouldn't allow my daughter or son for that to happen. You know, it's not okay under any circumstance, no matter who that is. So, but what I wanted to bring attention to is the fact that black people are continuously taking the bait. We're continuously taking the manipulation. This is social engineering at its finest, okay? So now you have black people who are dismissing this. And what happens to all the sisters that are really, you know, hurt and really being molested, and people are dismissing this, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to let you guys fight it out in the comments if you want. I've said what I said. I'm going to stand firm on it. My camera's dying, so I can't go too much into this, but I want to let you know. Let's track down this money. Let's track down who's getting paid from this. Let's track down his managers. Let's track down the labels. Who's in charge of these labels that are still letting R. Kelly get paid? All right, and he's a known pedophile. Let's bring their names out from the back into the light, because right now we're just focusing on R. Kelly, which, you know, he may be an issue. You know, I'm not taking that away, but let's bring everybody out. If we're gonna bring out R. Kelly, let's bring everyone out. All right, let's bring all these labels out. Let's bring his management out. Let's bring all of that out into the open. All right.
I'm a savage in a lost land. I lost a hand to Africa. Massacres jumping off of the slave ship. I disappear like abracadabra. I feel the water holding me. Never make it to the promised land. That shit is old to me. 400 plus. Am I living how I'm supposed to be? Strip my native language. Expect me to pray with rosaries? Fuck that. I gotta make it off this plantation. They sold my son last week and cracked the whip just for chasing him. Tried to break me in my spirit, but in my mind I'm still hating him. Fight tooth and nail for my woman. That white man raping him. I got scars on my back that go straight to my bone. I think every day what he do inside of his home. I fantasize about putting his back hole through his dome. So I plot and strategize a plan to sneak in his home. My cousin Freddie work up in the kitchen. He say he down with a plan, we can catch him slipping. He been reading something called a book. The thought of freedom got him shook, and how that man he called master is nothing but a crook. Come to the slave house, we can plan this shit out. We'll most likely meet our death if we taking this route. A couple weeks I had 10 soldiers ready to roll. That sun up, sound down, work got us too swell. Freddie left the door unlocked and we crept in. All black, no sounds from my feet when we swept in. Crept up the stairs, I'm breathing heavy. Wrapped my hands around the axe, man, my palms were sweaty. I pushed the door and saw him laying there. Long, blonde, stringy hair. I swung that axe like a monster. He never made a sound. His wife started to scream, so I laid that bitch down. Now I'm gonna get your kids how you got mine. My brother's trying on your clothes. They never seen him this fine. Now we off to the next house, young, wild, and free.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials, because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Mendel Rivers to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised.
It was a dark night. A full supper got me sleeping tight. I heard some glass break, followed by a bright light. My mama rushed me out of my sleep, put her hands across my mouth and said, "Child, if you wanna live, don't make a peep." You whistled at that girl last week, and now you got 50 men standing in front of our house with white sheets. Before I knew, my door was swinging open. Whiskey vapors hitting my nostrils. 6 white ghosts with thoughts so hostile carried me straight off of my feet through the darkness. I'm 12 years old. How they sealing my face so heartless? They kicked me and they spit in my face. Realizing that I never see the sun again, I calm with grace. A fat one came up with rope, placed it around my neck. I never made a sound. If I go with respect. My knees were shaking like a leaf in the summer breeze. They pulled me up the tree and all I thought was just breathe, but it wasn't happening. Now my vision's fading. I feel my soul getting light, but am I levitating? Everything is fuzzy now and I fade to black. I was murdered for whistling at a white girl. Imagine that. Breathe. Looking at my neighborhood outside, I can't breathe. Every time I'm turning on the news, I can't breathe. Black with the police on my back, I can't breathe. Tell me just breathe. I said I can't breathe. Looking at my neighborhood outside, I can't breathe. Every time I'm turning on the news, I can't breathe. Black with the police on my back, I can't breathe. Tell me just breathe. I said I can't breathe. Looking at my neighborhood outside, I can't breathe. Every time I'm turning on the news, I can't breathe. Black with the police on my back, I can't breathe. Tell me just breathe. I said I can't breathe. Looking at my neighborhood outside, I can't breathe. Every time I'm turning on the news, I can't breathe. Black with the police on my back, I can't breathe. Tell me just breathe. I said I can't breathe.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner. The revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on reports from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lifes of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he had been saving for just the right occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so goddamn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally screwed Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news, and no pictures of Harry-armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, or Engelbert Humperdinck. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people.